as you mentioned in the opener, Macarthur really looking for that consistency of the green ticks in the win column that they can't find at the moment. And Western, a week and a half between games since that draw against the Mariners.
I wonder how John Aloisi has used that little break. Maybe to rest up one or two players. He's not been particularly busy in the transfer window. That form guide that we mentioned, very much favouring Western United today. Particularly away from home, where they've been very effective. Only Adelaide United have won more points on the road in the A-League this season. And the team in lime green today. Back to Philip Curto from Thomas Larvelskog. And Jakolis, I'm not sure he was expecting the ball to drop for him. Down the line by Bratton, but seen out for a ball's throw by Tate Russell. Back in New South Wales today, of course, where he began his career with Western Sydney Wanderers. Played every game so far this season for John Aloisi. And Western look as though they're trying to start this game on the front foot. Abel Wallity riding the challenge of Bratton, and it's set up nicely for him. Goodness me, that really packed a punch from Wallity, and it's a really good stop from Philip Curto.
A very good save, a really strong left hand from the experienced gloveman, but look at this from Wallity. He senses that there's just half an opening for him. The ball's bobbling nicely for the volley, and gee, he had some gunpowder behind that, didn't he? Great action.
That's why Philip Curto is so highly rated in A-League circles. Former A-League goalkeeper of the year, of course, a few years back. And his save has produced a corner taken by skipper Ben Garuccio, and there's a little bit of uncertainty there in the Bulls' defence, but they get it back out towards Garuccio. Now Thurgate, and off Bratton for another Western United corner.
It's a good start by the visitors. As you mentioned, Simon, they've been pressing Macarthur high to start this game. Two corners is a dividend that's paid.
In towards the front post, helped on by Wallity, and it needed Curto's intervention. The back heel by Dylan Leonard is cleared off the line by the Bulls, who are right in their luck in these early stages. Headed partly away by Jakolis. Garuccio had a go. That one was blocked. Garuccio still on the left. Great early pressure from the visitors. Wallity. And just wide off Noah Botic. What a start by the men in lime green.
Oh, brilliant action. And as you see, the flick on here from Wallity, Curto had to be so smart down to his right. And then that back heel there. Very, very sharp goalkeeping. They are riding their luck, but they're also relying on some excellent goalkeeping from Curto.
Well, that's twice he's denied Abel Wallity. Bulls struck in the early stages by a green tidal wave. Let's see what they can do at the other end. There was most definitely a push there by Chris Economides. Free kick, Western United.
Yeah, good decision by the officials. An opportunity for Chris Economides now. There's an opening from the activity in the transfer window, I should say, with Jed Drew moving on.
Well, not the only player to move on. Back to that in a moment. Western rather casually giving the ball away, but they've got it back now and scooped forward by Dylan Leonard. Brought down here by Jake Holman. Should be Matt Sutton's. Yeah, the exit door has been busy for the Bulls, hasn't it, in January? Jed Drew, Ariath Piol and Ollie Jones all going overseas, bringing in revenue for the club. Dino Arslanigic, of course, has also departed. It's maybe just left them a little bit short-handed in certain areas, and those four players, young players that I mentioned, away with the Australia under-20s. Oliver Randazzo, Franz Deli, Dean Bosniak, and reserve keeper Alexander Robinson. That's why there are 4 potential debutants on the Bulls bench today.
Yeah, it's certainly going to test their depth, isn't it? But they certainly lose who I think was probably the form player of the competition in Jed Drew and Arieth Piol. There's some pace, there's some impact in those wide areas that's walked out the door.
It's going to be a Western United throw in and gives us the chance to go down and say good afternoon to Tristan McManus, who's sidelined for us. Tris.
Good afternoon, guys. Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, you can't really say it out loud. It's a bit like Voldemort. The sky is blue on one side, it's very, very grey on the other side, and we know what that means when we come out to Campbelltown. There is a weather warning coming up here. Hopefully we don't need to reenact what happened here on many occasions. Every time I seem to come out to Campbelltown, I'm out here for 17 hours a day. But so far, the game has started well. 2 teams pushing for 3rd place in the league. Macarthur obviously trying to impose themselves as the best team in Sydney. It's been happening for a long, long while. We talked about the Sydney Derby last night, and we've got another couple coming up in the next couple of weeks as well. But so far, so good. Things are great. The atmosphere is good. People are happy, and there's a posse up behind the goal there, which is fantastic.
The weather like County Cork in summer, Tris. At least Western United have put a bit of green on today for Tristan as well. Here's Wallity, who's looked lively in these opening minutes. And he was chopped down as he tried to burrow his way through. Jake Holman thinks that was unfair. And Casey Rybelt's called him back for a further little chat.
I think it was probably worth the argument. Holman does get the ball there. I suppose in the game, the modern game, when you go to ground, you give the referee a decision to make. But Wallity has started this game in the mood, hasn't he? Venomous strike that Philip Curto had to be so sharp and strong to parry to safety. And each time he's received the ball, he's been very positive.
Good to see the herd of bulls on the grass, of course, where they're grazing in the background. And they're watching this free kick delivered by Ben Garuccio, dealt with by Valère-Germain in the first instance.
Well, I dare say it's Western that have made the more bullish start to this game, Simon.
I don't think there's much question about that. Thumped away by Matt Yearman. Now, 2 of Australia's finest players of their generation, both of whom have already won silverware as coaches. John Aloisi, of course, with the title for Western a couple of years ago. Milos Sujovski with the Australia Cup. Starting to build good careers in the technical zone.
Yeah, they certainly are. Aloisi, obviously, with 4 years under his belt. And Millet, but Millet doing a fantastic job to date with his staff, and I think you highlighted it too, Simon, the players that they've given opportunities to and given them the freedom to express themselves. They've led to moves during the transfer window, and there's more coming through the pathway.
This is the second meeting between these 2 clubs this season. They played out a goalless draw in Tarneet in round 7. And the previous meeting here in Campbelltown was equally tight. Edged by Macarthur by the only goal of the game back in round 3 of last season. Neatly controlled by Thurgate. Turned back towards Sutton by Tate Russell. This is Dylan Leonard, the 17-year-old. I must say, I really like the look of, a lot of potential. I also like the fact he wears black boots. Don't see that very often these days.
Dying out in the game, isn't it?
It's Keely Adamson who wears them as well. And a foul on Jaman. Gives the Bulls the set piece, which they take quickly through Holman. Economides. Adamson on the overlap. Economides again. Missed a chance there, the Bulls, to get the ball in the box. Test out the Western defence.
Yeah, I thought it was smart thinking from Jake Holman, as we've come to expect, to release the free kick early. There was an opportunity to put the ball into the danger area.
Jakolis. That's a brilliant release from Marin Jakolis. Economides went down in a heap, but there was no contact. Well, there was second time around, but from Economides rather than on him.
Yeah, that's right. In his mind, probably looking for retribution, but I think he needed to be stronger there. He played for the foul.
There were hands in the back there from Ben Garuccio on Economides, but maybe not enough for the referee's whistle. Travelling Western United supporters behind Matt Sutton. They will have been hugely encouraged by what they've seen so far this season. Not sure too many, probably me included, Mossy, I don't know about you, would have had them in fourth spot at this point of the season. But that's where they are, and with a chance to go third. Kanzaki hurdling over Vujica, but Jakolis got back goal side. Chested down by Economides. Little look over the shoulder from Valère Germain. Didn't have too much help. It's comfortable though for Yerman. Vujica. Holman almost playing his team into trouble. First time ball by Jakolis. Flicked on by Germain, and the chase is on, but Sutton always the favourite to get there ahead of Harrison Sawyer.
Geez, good in the air. Valère Germain.
He doesn't look particularly tall or strong, does he? But he gets great leap.
He's got an amazing spring, and he times his jump so well off one foot. It's a good lesson for young players as well. A lot more power jumping off one foot than two.
And you look at his strike partner today, Harrison Sawyer, who towers above him. But Tim Cahill wasn't the biggest, was he? No. He wasn't bad in the air.
That's right.
Worked wide by Leonard for Garuccio. Imai. Just the two losses on the road this season for Western, away to Melbourne City by 2-0, and back in the early part of the campaign when they went down 2-1 at Cooper Stadium to Adelaide. And the Bulls at home, 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. Sawyer adjusted the feet really well and spread wide by Holman, bringing Marin Jakolis into play. Blocked by Imai. Vujica. Back with Luke Bratton. Holman. Clever ball by Jake Holman, but really good defending too from Angus Thurgate, who got himself between the ball and Ivan Vujica.
He's having a season, isn't he, Thurgate? Just so reliable. Knows his role inside out. Prepared to do the hard work. And very, very efficient with the ball as well.
Well, he's always had great potential, hasn't he, Angus Thurgate? He was the A-League Young Player of the Year back in 21-22. 25, as he turned yesterday. Should be coming towards his peak as a player.
Well, he's certainly showing all the right signs this season. Crucial cog in John Aloisi's machine.
Down the line by Adamson. Economides. There's Dylan Leonard for company. Adamson takes over. And gobbled up by Sutton at the near post. And after that bright start by Western United, Macarthur just started to come back into it.
Yeah, and it's through their wide areas. Jakolis on the left, Economides on the right. Clear tactic to try and get the ball to their feet as quickly as possible. We saw some wonderful play in midfield from Harry Sawyer to get the ball to Jake Holman, who released Jakolis down the left-hand side. Wonderful passage of play.
Bozanovski. Russell. MI. Thurgate. Russell was setting off on a run down the right. Gone centrally instead. And they'll work it to the left, and Garuccio. Bozanovski. Thurgate. And through the gap nicely. Here's Abel Wallity. They're building beautifully, Western. Ross's block though, back with Bozanovski. Wallity. Western with some pretty loud appeals for a foul on Abel Wallity, but not heeded by Casey Rybelt.
Well, here we see replay. I'm reasonably happy with that decision. I think it would have been a bit of a soft free kick. He already released the ball and it was out of the control of the green shirts.
Big talent though, isn't he, Abel Wallity? We've seen that already this season, scored a couple of goals in Sydney and Melbourne victory, replete with the backflips. He's had to do it the hard way as well. Had a spell overseas with Gladsaxe in Denmark, which didn't really work out for him. Struggled with homesickness and not getting much game time. Starting to make his mark with Western United. Holman. Oh, clever. Sold Ben Garuccio completely with that little swivel of the hips. Actually, for Macarthur, Harrison Sawyer's layoff for Economides didn't quite match it.
No, I could see the idea and the thinking behind it, but I thought he had the chance to take a touch, turn and face the target, and he had supporting Germain and Jakolis down the left-hand side as well. It's kind of been the story of these opening 20 minutes. Once Macarthur started to get into the game, working it well to the wide areas, but it's the last pass or decision that's letting them down.
By the way, I mentioned it's Harrison Sawyer's maiden Bull start today. It's only his second A-League start all told. His last one was for the Newcastle Jets, where he had that brief spell, of course, back in April 2017. He's been around the traps since, of course, most notably and most recently with South Melbourne, where he scored a bucket load of goals in the NPL Victoria competition and the Australia Cup. Here's Botic in the wide area. Oh, they were queuing up there, Western United, and Thomas Lavos got perhaps a bit fortunate that the ball made it as far as his boot.
Yeah, and he did well in the end, Uzkok, but Noah Botic, quite rightly, there was numbers in the box, but no one really attacking this ball into a good area with any intent. Ibasuki too late onto the scene, but really good delivery from Botic.
Western's third corner. Macarthur yet to register in that regard. Ben Garuccio again on corner kick duty into the near post where Botic was stationed. Quality. And behind it goes for a goal kick. And he's having quite the battle with Jake Holman, isn't he, Abel Wallity?
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? Both players really nothing in the tank in these opening 20 minutes. Both influential for their respective sides as well. Wallity probably holding the advantage at this stage with that wonderful strike on goal.
Verman and Bratton, two very experienced players, not on the same page. Invites further pressure on the Bulls. Bozanovski. Worked centrally by Danzaki. Oh, and clearly Adamson with the banana boots on. I'm not sure that went exactly where he wanted it to. Germain goes down, but there's no foul. Bozanovski punches it in towards Ibasuki. Danzaki through the legs. And Thurgate trying to place it. Good save again by Curto. Still alive for Garuccio. And Botic trying to climb and get there. Here's Thurgate. He goes down inside the box. And Macarthur were at 6s and 7s there. And again, there's no foul on Germain. And he's got pretty strong words to say to Casey Rybelt. Weston continue through Wallity. Now Garuccio and Noah Botic got in ahead of the defender. And it's his 8th goal of the campaign. 5 goals in his last 4. No wonder John Aloisi thinks he's a potential World Cup bolter. And you have to say that goal's been coming.
It certainly has. They were huffing and they were puffing, Western United. And they take a well-deserved lead. As I think Luke Bratton incurs the wrath of Casey Rybelt, the referee. But that is a real striker's finish from Noah Botic. Fantastic delivery. Wallity again at the heart of everything good on the Harvey Norman replay that Western are doing. And there's the delivery from Garuccio. Beautiful tail on it. Noah Botic rises wonderfully well and powers his header past Philip Curto.
Well, it was a tempting cross, wasn't it, from Ben Garuccio, just begging to be headed into the back of the net. The Bulls fans and players, though, are angry that play wasn't stopped for a foul, or at least that's their view of it, on Valère Germain, their captain. And Luke Bratton has talked his way into the book as a result.
Yeah, I can see the frustration, because it did appear that there was some potentially unfair contact on Germain a couple of phases before the goal. I'm sure VAR will be having a look at it, because the ball didn't go out of play.
I think the check is actually for offside against Botic, which is why we've got the little hold up. I did just wonder about that when Garuccio's cross came in. Germain, I think, is still wanting to continue the discussion about the potential foul. Here we go again. As Garuccio plays the ball there, is he offside, Noah Botic? It's a difficult angle that we've got from that camera to know for sure.
Yeah, and it's Uzcock is the last defender from Macarthur. I think this goal's going to stand.
Sean Evans in VAR today through his Sydney Derby excursions as referee yesterday evening. And the goal is confirmed, so there's to be no reprieve for Miller Sejovski's team. And on the balance of play, you can't really say that Western haven't earned that early advantage.
No, 100%. They deserve it, and this game has deserved the goal as well.
Let's see if the Bulls can respond. Here's Harrison Sawyer. Tidy work, though, by Bozanovski. Here's Noah Botic, the goal scorer. Muscle Luke Bratton, he was being held back, and the Bulls feel as though they're not getting the rub of the green here. Western wanted to take the free kick quickly. And they're complaining that the Bulls hadn't retreated the full 10 yards now. Luke Bratton has gone down after a collision. It's all going on here.
It really is. It's a messy 30 or so seconds of the game, but Luke Bratton, I think, inadvertently copped some studs in the ankle. He needs to be careful. He was just booked not long ago in the aftermath of the goal. He got in the way of a free kick being taken.
Now that's the initial incident with Botic. And free kick given for Western, which Macarthur didn't agree with. Then there's a little tangle there involving Germain.
I think it might have even been Germain's studs that collects Bratton's ankle.
And at the end of it all, it's not too friendly, let's put it that way. Well, Stajovski is normally the coolest man inside any stadium.
He's certainly got the Swan analogy down pat. Maybe scrambling under the water at times, but always looks composed on top of it. There's certainly some feeling in this game, Simon, which is great. We've got a goal in the opening 23 or 4 minutes. A bit of spite out there on the pitch as well.
I don't think Casey Rybelt has endeared herself any further to Luke Bratton by insisting that because he's had treatment, he's going to have to come off on the near side before he's allowed back onto the field of play. But that's the rule, of course.
And probably smart as well. Brett just takes a breath, composes himself again.
That little spike in the temperature, things simmer back down, and Bratton's back with us. And the ball back with Tomoki Imai for Western. Boyitsa. Back off Jakolis, but another aimless ball. Danzaki, Ibasuki through the legs of Yerman, but Uscott read it well. Ted Russell looking for an option. Botic provides. Wozanovski muscled off it by Germain. And surely there was an infringement there on Jake Holman, and I thought those ironic cheers were coming as the whistle goes Macarthur's way, and then Tate Russell, and he's going to have a little chat with Casey Rybelt for kicking the ball away.
Yeah, you need to be careful there. That's usually an automatic yellow card. Casey Rybelt using common sense as we see that foul from Botic on Holman.
Chested down here by Keely Adamson. Got the better of Garucho. Now Economides. Dylan Leonard across to provide cover. Garucho still down on that far side. But gingerly back up to his feet. Here's Marin Jakolis. Well defended by Danzaki. Western applying the press and forcing the turnover. The ball was slightly behind Botic, just clipped his heel. They look hungry, John Aloisi's team.
They certainly do, and they're pressing in a 4-2-4 defensive structure, which is just giving them a chance to apply some really high pressure.
Dylan Leonard not fazed by to face the muscular figure of Harrison Sawyer, who believed that he was having his jersey held.
I completely concur with you, Simon, about Dylan Leonard. Every time I've seen him play this season, I've been really impressed with how composed he is for a young player.
In the air by Yearman, but brought down by Danzaki. Heel by Russell. Bozanovski. Leonard. Now back to Sutton.
So that press from West United, when they do press with that front four, very effective if the press is effective, but if Macarthur are able to beat that first line of the press, there is space in midfield to exploit.
Don't forget, lots more football to come. On 10 play, we've got started the AFC Under-20 Asian Cup. The young Socceroos are in action against Qatar. It's coming up on Saturday, 15th of Feb. Our coverage starts at 8:15 p.m. We have all the Australian games in that tournament for you live. On home of football in Australia, here's Marin Jakolis. And Jake Holman to place it. Oh, what a finish. That is a peach. Jake Holman's fourth of the season. He could well be the next Bulls player to attract interest from overseas as he scores in back-to-back matches, and Macarthur are all square.
That is such a cultured finish from Jake Holman. Beautifully worked down his left-hand side on the Harvey Norman replay. Credit the pass from Luke Bratton to pick out the run of Germain to start with. Jakolis takes over. And then he sees the better option of Holman making that surging run onto the edge of the box. And that is an absolutely beautiful finish from Jake Holman. Just struck it so cleanly and gave Matt Sutton really no chance, although he did get a hand to it, so he may be a little bit disappointed, almost two hands to it. But the power of that finish that was so sweet from Holman was just too great.
It's actually 3 goals in his last 4 matches. And a 7th assist of the season as well for Marin Jakolis. And that has certainly lifted spirits amongst the home fans.
It was a wonderful release from Luke Bratton. We know his range of passing. To find Germain, we spoke about a little bit earlier, when Western press with that front four, Macarthur can break the first line of that press. There is space. It was exploited beautifully by the home side on that occasion.
All the VAR checks complete. And the Bulls are on the board. He kept scoreless twice this season, Macarthur. Those games in that goalless draw against Western in Tarneet. So the 1-0 loss to Auckland. Even despite all the departures during the January window, still plenty of firepower, and Macarthur unhappy again at a challenge on Luke Bratton, this time by Rhys Bozanovski, and Valère Germain, as captain, has again run over to Casey Rybelt and had quite a involved conversation. Thoughts, Mossy?
I didn't think there was too much in that. Yes, a boisterous challenge, but it's in midfield. I expect nothing less. Touch late, but certainly not vicious by any stretch. But that finish by Holman, Simon, the key to that was he didn't go for power, although it had plenty of power, but that was all in the timing of the strike. Beautiful finish.
He's pinged for infringement. One or two Macarthur players put their hands on their heads and turn towards Milos Stajovski. They really feel as though they're getting a bad run of these decisions.
And right on cue, Macarthur assistant coach Matt Smith has gone over to the fourth official, Tim Danaskos, just for a quiet word.
Leonard. Thurgate. Back with Leonard. Tomoki Imai. That's the right idea. Lovely release by Danzaki. Jakolis's match take Russell though stride for stride. Showing that he couldn't get away. Look at that for a release from Thurgate. Finding the space for Ben Garuccio to drive into. And the cross palmed away. But only really into the path of Hiroshi Ibasuki. By Philip Curto. Gives his defenders a spray. He was an absolute full stretch. Maybe just misjudged this one slightly.
Yeah, he certainly did. He didn't get enough on that to avert the danger completely. I think Ibasuki was caught by surprise that it even became half a chance for him. But then Curto, I think it was Keely Adamson, absolute gobful. And it's a lot more closer attention on Garuccio coming down that left-hand side, and we saw the quality of Garuccio's delivery for the Bocic goal. And really caught them napping again.
Well, maybe reinforcements coming in the next couple of weeks in front of Philip Curto. Of course, the Bulls have been busy selling players during January. They have quite a few as well. Kevin Bolly, experienced Ivorian central defender, 33. He's been signed, not part of the squad today. Saifuddin Kawi, Tunisian. He's also arrived during the window. Peter Makrolos is on the bench. And of course, they have been very strongly linked with Garan Kwol. Nothing's actually been done as yet. Whether that's just speculation or not. I'm sure they will be looking to add to the squad. The window in Australia still has another week to go. Leonard had the pace to see off the threat of Economides. Here's Russell. Whilst we get the chance, talking of exit doors, just a word on the retirement this week of Nikita Rukavica, formerly of Western United, of course, and one or two other clubs besides in the A-League. Very distinguished career, particularly in Israel, where he won, I think, a couple of golden boots, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I had the pleasure of working with him in the 2006-07 Ollie Roos, the other end of his career. To make a real fist of the career, and we wish him all the best in retirement, his next phase, as we do Jamie Young.
Indeed.
He's hung up the gloves.
Title winner with Western, of course, 21-22. Quality giving up the ghost on that one.
I have to say, Jamie Young, one of the best shot stoppers in the game for many, many years. Came back from England. I remember him coming up to the Mariners when I was there under Graham Arnold. We didn't have space at the time. There was a young keeper by the name of Matty Ryan doing reasonably well.
What happened to him?
You could tell straight away Jamie's influence on culture and his leadership in the dressing room, and he's going to prove exactly that at the clubs he's played for.
A little bump between Holman and Thurgate, and both players have come off worse for wear. The Bulls go forward and find Harrison Sawyer. Awkward one to control, and he loses out to Bozanovsky. And now Casey Rybelt will stop play, and Western United are unhappy about that because they were on the attack.
I think given it's to the head area and the face area, I don't think Casey Rybelt had any choice.
Here's how it happened. Yeah, I think it's just, I think both players were winded. Holman clearly more than Thurgate.
And based on that replay, I'm surprised it wasn't a foul against Holman. He was a little bit too aggressive from behind.
Probably done a bit of damage to the ribs here, Jake Holman. Scorer of Macarthur's equalizer, of course. Angus Thurgate's okay.
Yeah, it does look like the rib area. You see the contact again here. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a bit of rib cartilage. Indeed. He holds his face there, Holman, but I think it's around the rib area that he's more concerned with.
Yeah, it's certainly a sore one. They're just testing out those ribs, making sure there's no serious damage. Noah Botic gave Western United the lead from Ben Garuccio's cross, but 10 minutes after that, Jake Holman from Marin Jakolis's assist, squaring the ledger. But it's been a good contest so far, Mossy, between these two.
It really has. It was a frenetic start from Western. They really had Macarthur on the back foot, got the go-ahead goal, and Macarthur have rolled their sleeves up and got themselves back into the game. Fantastic first 40 minutes or so.
Coleman looks as though he's going to be okay to continue, but again, he has to come to the sidelines. And play will restart with a free drop for Western. Thurgate. It's out by Holman. Garuccio. Bozanovski. Danzaki. Spinning it out towards Tate Russell. Another option for Dylan Leonard. It's Reece Bozanovski. Ball straight for Scott. Now Bratton for Macarthur. Intelligent ball there. Find the space for Jaman. Ball's throw. I wanted to take that throw in quickly, but there was a misfield by the ball crew, or the bull crew, as they're called here.
You win, you grin, you lose, you learn. There might be a little bit of coaching going on during the week.
Catching practice. Jaman. Jakolis. Desperately trying to get goal side of Leonard, and again defends him very well.
He really did. He read the situation well, and he had to stay physically strong with Sawyer all over him, and the defender wins the battle.
It's going to be a foul in favour of Macarthur and a yellow card for Abel Wallity. Was just a little bit too quick for him. And with half-time approaching, with the Bulls, who fell behind, remember, after 22 minutes, perhaps pinched the lead going into the break. They've got some tall timber at the back post as well. Sawyer, Woodcock, Yerman all in there. Malaysia man standing just in front of them, probably in an offside position at the moment. So we tick over to the first of 4 additional minutes at the end of the opening 45. Bratton German leaves the free kick. Hooked in by Buitsa. It's a little bit too deep. And Sutton to make a safe claim.
Yeah, and they're aiming for that tall timber around the back with German and Uskok. It was Uskok in the end who got his head to it. Just had a little bit too much on it from Buitsa.
Well, the press has worked for Macarthur, forcing the turnover. Keely Adamson with the throw. Back with Holman, now Uskok. German. Buitsa. A good touch that from German. Jakolis deserved a better cross, really.
It definitely did. I was just thinking the same. That was just outstanding from Germain. Just took all the pace off that. And the outside of his right foot perfectly into the path of Jakolis. You could see he was just in two minds. Take it on the half volley. And let the ball land again. Outstanding technique from Valeur Germain, as we've come to expect.
Bulls top scorer again this season with 7. Another 4 in their Australia Cup success. Well, of course, he missed the final. Something out to head off Harrison Sawyer. He's off his line here, but it's all back now. Ball still going forward through Economides. Seen it safely by Goricho for Western. Macarthur finishing the first half strongly. Sawyer's header. Thought for a moment it might just creep in at that back post, but Sutton had time to get across his line.
Yeah, he did. I think the assistant referee's flag on the far side was up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Unless, of course, the VAR overruled the assistant referee's decision. But again, just a half opening for Macarthur.
Forward towards Noah Botic. Just got away from him, which allowed Buitsa to intervene. Danzaki. Squared up by Leonard for Imai. Botic peeling off the line nicely and looking to link up with Ibasuki. Here's Danzaki. Can Western finish the half with a flourish? Botic is cut back. Bratton gets it partly away. Teed up again by Russell. Here's Wallity. Oh, it's a great finish. Abel Wallity with the right boot, piercing the top right corner for his 3rd goal of the season. And it's Western United who will go into the half-time break with a 2-1 lead.
Well, he's finished the first half the way he started it, with such a positive contribution to his side on the Harvey Norman replay. You can see here he hasn't got a lot of room to play with. He fakes to shoot, pulls it back onto his right foot, and then the finish is absolutely deadly. Bratton didn't deal with it. Tate Russell plays Wallity in, and look at that, the way he creates his half a yard. And then the final strike gave Philip Curto absolutely no chance on the Harvey Norman replay.
A finish perfect to a tee from Wallity. And John Aloisi punches the air in delight. And all that after Macarthur had looked to be a stronger finishing team of the two as the first half drew to a close. That's the way football goes sometimes. Very entertaining first 45, which Casey Rybelt has been one of the main protagonists as well, with some of the decisions not finding favour with both teams. But it's Western who have the advantage, courtesy of Abel Wallety's third of the season, virtually with the final kick of the first half. Before that, Noah Botic had given Western the lead before Jake Holman got the Bulls all square 10 minutes later. Still plenty to come in this one, though, you'd fancy. But at the break in Campbelltown, it is Macarthur 1, Western United 2. And we're off for a break ourselves. Join Tristan and Phil Moss on the other side of it for their thoughts on the first half. Back soon.
Ladies and events, any spectator to enter the field play without authorisation. Any spectator that enters the field play without authorisation will be evicted from the stadium, potentially banned from attending future matches, and handed over to the police for further professional. A financial crime may also be issued. The APO is committed to providing a safe and enjoyable environment for everyone and asks you to respect the players and match officials by remaining within the season goal. Alright, mini balls is ready to go now, and this is the half-time mini balls today with the players from the Campbelltown Cobras soccer club. Let's make them feel welcome. Let's welcome to the pitch the players from the Bulls FC Academy. Our girls, boys, men's and women's teams have been working hard during the pre-season and are gearing up for the start of the 2025 season.
Midweek matches are over and the weekly kickoff is back. Catch us every Wednesday for all your Socceroos, Matildas and A-League action.
He's going to go for it. Oh, hat-trick. What a fantastic goal.
Plus all the best bits from the beautiful game from all around the globe. The weekly kickoff returns from February 5, Wednesdays on 10 Bold and Paramount Plus.
The weekly kickoff, what a show that is, and what a game we have here today. Welcome back to Campbelltown Stadium and the Hungry Jacks halftime show. My name is Tristan McManus and I'm joined by Phil Moss here. Mossy, what a game that we've had so far. We knew there were two quality teams, but talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. There's been action at both ends. There's been goals aplenty. Wallity, for me, has been a standout player of the first half from the first minute till the last minute, as we're about to see.
He really has been fantastic. It seemed like a little bit of a slow start from Macarthur, and then they got punished, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. I think Western have come here with a clear plan to press them high, and they're pressing in a 4-2-4 formation, if you like, and that's putting a lot of pressure on the home side to get out. But if they can beat that first line of the press, then there is space in midfield to play. But look at this from Wallity. Just so positive. He was central to that first goal. Beautiful delivery from Garuccio, and Noah Bodic putting a really thumping header into the back of Philip Curto's net.
It's always great when we have some of these Harvey Norman highlights to talk about. The game threatened to get a little bit out of hand, and there's a bit feisty as well, but it goes to show what is up for grabs between these two teams today.
Yeah, that's right. It's what exactly this game should have, and this is the Macarthur goal. Jay Coleman with just such a cultured, calm and technically brilliant finish. He didn't go for power, but it had plenty behind it because of the timing in that strike, and that was a wonderful move, started by a wonderful pass from Luke Bratton.
That's it, and then the scoreboards came up with 4 minutes to be added, and right as that the clock struck the 49th, so did Abel Wallity.
Yeah, that's right. And Luke Bratton, usually so good with his feet, just didn't clear the danger there. Tate Russell plays it square for Wallity, and look at that, he just sells Bratton with a great dummy and drop of the shoulder to create the half a yard for the strike, and the strike was absolutely unerring.
It really is a topsy-turvy game. It's one of those things you can never call it in this league. Macarthur seemed to be the dominant team near the end of the second half, or at the end of the first half, sorry. And then, of course, the goal came into it. Let's take a look at the first half match stats, and we'll see if they tell the story of what the game we've just seen. 2 shots on goal for Macarthur against Western United's 10.
Yeah, that's right. And the expected goals tells the story, really. 1.19 to 0.13 for Macarthur, and you know, Western a good value for that lead going into half time, definitely, but Macarthur not by any stretch are they out of this game.
Well, that's it. Let's take a look at the Paramount Plus player index. Here it comes. There we go. And Noah Bodic. All the talk about these young strikers in the league, who's going to get that call up for the Socceroos. We got Goodwin, of course, Jovanovic as well. But Noah Bodic has been doing it for much longer, isn't he?
Yeah, he has, and he's got to be a shout at some time sooner rather than later, I think, for maybe just to call up to those Socceroos and to get a taste of it, show what he can do at that level. I'm a bit surprised not to see Wallity at the top of those pops at half-time. I think he's been the most influential player on the pitch.
Well, we still got a second half to come. We always talk about these exciting players into them. One more new exciting player that we can welcome to the A-League is Saif Kawi. Sorry. How are you, Saif?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, it really is great to have you. Anytime any player signs for a new team in this league, we go straight to Google, we go straight to YouTube. We've seen some of your fantastic goals, but maybe you can tell the league what type of player that you are and what your attributes are to the Macarthur Bulls supporters.
Thank you for the welcome me here, and I am footballer, like technical footballer. It's always difficult to speak about yourself, but I think technique and maybe vision of the game, passing.
Well, I'll let your coach speak for you then, because Mile Sturjovski said that your passing and dribbling is really going to excite fans, so we're really looking forward to seeing that. Saif, why the A-League? What was it that attracted you to the A-League?
Honestly, there is Valère make a big difference for bring me here, and the club was fantastic with me. I know also there is assistant coach Christophe speak French, Marin also. So okay, and I need to play, to enjoy, to come back to the field, and I think it's the great choice for me.
And your thoughts on the A-League so far? What you've seen up close and personal and live?
Sorry?
Your thoughts on the A-League so far, the quality of the game, and what have been your observations?
Yeah, it's an open game. There is a lot of chance. You can score on any time, and I think we will enjoy together next week for me and for the club.
So those spaces you're seeing, you're licking your lips, huh? You can't wait to get out there.
Sorry, my English and the jet lag. difficult.
Well, bonjour to you. You know,
Yeah,
I got my French out just there.
sorry
Qui
for
ça va
the
bien?
fan.
Yeah, but so you have played the majority of your career in France.
Yes.
Of course, you went to the Emirates for a season as well. So how is that to adapt? Obviously, it helps that you have a lot of French-speaking players here, but again, moving to a new country, to a league where I guess we have said that we want to develop young players and we want to send them abroad.
Yeah.
So what is it about foreign players, the drive to come here to be part of our league?
Guys told me there is a lot of young players, like you said, to develop and go to Europe. So I think it's a good league, good championship, you can say,
Yeah.
like this. And they move on, step on. You can say like this, I don't know, but
No, you're great.
I think a lot of stars come, like Douglas Costa, Juan Mata, other players, and I hope for the country, because it's a beautiful country, to be recognized in the world.
Costa and now Kawi. Merci.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Welcome.
Adieu.
His English is much better than my
I
French.
tell you, much better than my friends, I tell you. Right, let's take a look at all of our fixtures and results so far from round 18. Of course, it all started on Thursday as opposed to a Friday. Wellington Phoenix, the 1-1 draw with Brisbane Roar. Adelaide, great game there against Melbourne City. Another draw for us on Friday was Perth Glory and Central Coast Mariners. Ollie Sale will be still shaking his head about that one. How about this one? Newcastle Jets, 0-0 until the 99th minute, and they go on and win 3-0 against Melbourne Victory. And then, of course, the game at Allianz last night, the Sydney Derby, Sydney 3, Western Sydney Wanderers 3. What a huge a game for anyone to watch who is trying to get a grip of what our league is like. Almost 33,000 showed up to this game last night, Phil.
Incredible advertisement for the A-League. Everything that we love about the A-League was on show last night. Great atmosphere. Look at the passion through Anthony Caceres and Ufuk Talay. And I think Sydney found a way to get a point. Western Sydney, unfortunately, found a way to lose too. And that was the story of the night, but that had absolutely everything last night, Trist.
Well, that was the Hungry Jacks halftime show. Anthony Caceres, fantastic. We've got a second half coming up here at the other side of the break. Don't miss it.
The Isuzu UTE is reinvigorated and already well. Where you take it, go your own way. Both sides are back out onto the field. Half-time score, it's 2-1. Western United. Macarthur FC fans, get those cowbells going and cheer on your team.
Well, the Bulls need to make their charge in the second half. They trail Western United by 2-1 thanks to that stoppage time. Second goal for Western by Abel Wallity, which was Western's 100th away goal in the competition here in Campbelltown, which is one of two venues in which Western are yet to win, the other one being Gosford, the home of the Mariners, of course. As for the Bulls, Phil Moss is their home curse, about to strike again. 4 defeats, 2 draws, only 2 wins at this venue for Macarthur so far this season.
Yeah, well, of course, Milos Sajowski will be hoping not, but half-time, I would imagine, was used to tell his players when they get in these wide areas, deliver the ball quickly into the box, because you've got Germain and you've got Sawyer, who are both good in the air.
Bozanovski has stayed down after a challenge with, I think, Valère-Germain. Play continues with Economides. Cross seen out for now by Garuccio. Bozanovski is in some discomfort. The only player, apart from Philip Curto, in the Macarthur half of the field, and that's why Matt Yerman has rather sportingly put the ball out of play so he can get some attention. A continuation, really, Mossy, of the high tempo of the first half, and at times high tempers.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. I don't think there was anything in that.
I just think it's knee on knee, which is painful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, definitely, but it's also better than the alternative, which would have been a twisted knee. Certainly looks in some discomfort, doesn't he, Bozanovski?
Yep. A sore one, that will be, certainly tomorrow. At least Bozanovski will not want to give up his place in the starting 11, where he's been now for 11 consecutive matches. Jordan Lawton, of course, among the potential replacements. These days, the only thing we need to say about Jordan Lawton is the score of that goal, and everybody knows.
Yep, certainly one for the highlights reel, that one. I'm not sure he'll better it during his career either. As we just see again, just that contact. I think it's Germain's left knee, Bozanovski's left knee.
Yeah, and it's painful. And he's back up on his feet, which is good to see. Good chat with John Aloisi. Make sure he's good to go back on. Some of the Bulls fans thinking perhaps he wasn't quite as hurt as he made out.
That's right.
If you've ever had one of those knee-on-knee collisions, they do sting. Reminder of how they lined up at the start of play today. A couple of changes for the Bulls. No Franz Deli today, he's away with the young Socceroos in common with 3 more of his teammates. Josh Danevsky dropping down to the bench. Matt Yerman recalled, and Harrison Sawyer given his first start for the club. That's the one change for Western. Goal scorer Abel Wallity back in the starting 11 in place of Matt Grimaldi, who's among the substitutes today for John Aloisi's team.
What I'm looking for now from Wallity is to back up that first half with a consistent second half, because he was outstanding in that first half. He touched, turned a danger for Macarthur.
Third place up for grabs for both these two teams. At the moment, it belongs to Western. Bozanovski trying to slide one through for Ibasuki. And Holman going over the top for Jakolis, who links up here with Harrison Sawyer. Big chance for the Bulls here in the cross, quite what the Bulls required. It's still alive though for Economides. Germain thought about trying to dart between Garuccio and Fergate, turned back instead. Bratton's cross steered away by Imai.
It was really intelligent from Jakolis.
Jackson's delivery, and Sutton brave, and Imai hurt in the ensuing collision.
That was heavy contact. Goalkeeper on his defender. Here's that intelligent play from Jakolis to set Sawyer on his way. I think his first touch lets him down there, Sawyer. He takes it away from goal instead of to the target. There's a delivery. Sutton, very brave goalkeeping. A little bit of friendly fire. It doesn't actually look as bad there, but maybe a little bit of whiplash.
Actually not 100% sure as to whether Harrison Sawyer was bumped into Imai. And he's a big unit, Harrison Sawyer.
Well, he certainly is. I looked past him in the tunnel earlier and felt well inept with my height, Simon.
Size isn't everything, Philip.
Here's that delivery again. Sutton takes it well in the mid-drift, and I think you're right. Might well have been Sawyer.
Yeah, I think it's a little clash of heads. And Imai has come out off the worst, and there's a bit of blood as well. Just above the right eyelid of Harrison Sawyer. It's the Vaseline being applied.
So there's some blood there for Imai as well. Cut to the side of the head. We'll have to get that strapped up, you'd imagine. Right on cue.
Accidental collision.
I think Imai's probably, his cut is in a better area than Sawyer's to finish the game, because it's around the eye area and you've got an eye full of Vaseline. It'll be difficult to see the ball, judge the ball.
A lengthy delay here whilst Tomoki Imai undergoes running repairs. Western United's record appearance holder. It's his 128th game in all competitions for the club today. One of 9 Japanese players in the competition this season. It's been a real influx from one of Australia's great regional rivals to the competition this year. And Imai went on record as saying he welcomes his compatriots. He felt a bit lonely those first couple of years because he was the only one.
We're slowly coming to grips with the talent that can be attracted to the A-League from their Asian neighbours.
I think what's great as well, Mossy, is that they see the A-League as a really good destination to come to. There's going to have to be a change of shirt here for Tomoki Imai. With blood on the jersey, so Imai is going to swap number 6 and wear number 52, but of course at the moment that means that Western are short-handed, but Imai's now back with us. Harrison Sawyer too. Danny De Silva is being ready to come on for the Bulls. Next break in play. Here's the cross from Bratton, and Germain had time there if he wanted to bring it down. Shot is blocked by Fergate. I understand that Harrison Sawyer is going to be the man replaced. Next break in play, which is now. There's no time to make that change. the moment for the Bulls. I think Harrison Sawyer will be rather disappointed to have to take his leave. I don't know whether the eye injury has got a part to play in that decision, or whether it's just tactical from Miloš. Danny De Silva, of course, a good replacement.
Yeah, he certainly is. He will play a different role, obviously. Probably just in behind Valère Germain. I think there probably wasn't enough delivery into the box for Sawyer to do his thing this afternoon. I'm sure that was addressed at half-time, but now Miloš going to his bench has changed things up a little bit.
Here is De Silva, quickly into the action. Backfield by Jakolis. Vujicic's cross. Back close to Economides. Arriving now is Keely Adamson. Well defended by Leonard. It's not clear yet, though, for Western. Economides. The cross with a left boot, but Imai behind that one. All the way back with Yerman. Holman. It's not the greatest release that by Jake Holman, but it's kept things going for the Bulls. Bratton.
And 2 minutes after Sawyer went off, Macarthur delivered the ball into the box 4 times.
How's your luck, Harrison? Still waiting for that first A-League goal. Holman went down and handling the ball initially, I think, which Western were complaining about, but it's the Bulls who've got the free kick.
And there's the tussle. Kozanowski on Holman. Isuzu joins in late. That was quite possibly one of the best air swings we've seen in A-League history.
I'll tell you what, it's just a good job that it didn't connect with Reece Bozanovski, otherwise he would have been in real trouble. Harrison Sawyer still undergoing running repairs to that eye problem. It's going long for the set piece. Imai sees that one out for now. Economides. De Silva, all wrapped up by Wallity. Nice arrival, and I think about it, and yet more protests from both the stands and the two coaches.
But I can tell you, walking through the tunnel at half-time, there was more than the odd comment from the Macarthur camp about the refereeing. It's feeling they're not getting the rub of the green.
To be fair there, Economides has grabbed hold of Wallity, so it's the correct decision. Crossfield by Garuccio, flicked on by Danzaki. Tidied up by Yerman. Imai. Way back for Matt Sutton, who has time to consider the options. Good win in the air there by Yerman. Brilliant sliding tackle by Bozanovski. And Danzaki claiming he was being held. And he's going to be disappointed as well.
Yeah, and you can see both sides of that argument there. I think Vujicic defends it quite well, although there is a little bit of shirt tugging going on. That's what Danzaki's remonstrating about.
It's been that sort of a game though, Bossy, hasn't it? Niggly in places.
Yeah, it has. No love lost out there either, which is what you'd expect, what you'd hope for.
Confirmation, by the way, that that change De Silva for Sawyer was for tactical reasons and not because of the eye injury. Here's Germain. De Silva looking to open himself up, but couldn't readjust the feet quickly enough. The goalkeeper really tested us yet in this second half. Very keenly contested first 15 minutes.
Of which Philip Curto was the star, wasn't he? Pulled off some really sharp saves.
In the first half, yes.
In the first half, yep.
Currently done by Holman, and it's found its way through for Jakolis, and here's Danny De Silva, but the ball from Jakolis was just too far in front of the substitute. Big chance missed for Macarthur.
Yeah, and again, that's that final pass. He's been letting Macarthur down on occasions this afternoon, and Matt Sutton reads that really well. Had to make a quick decision whether to attack the ball or retreat. It'll depend on his defenders to defend the situation, but he made the right call.
Walter Scott is being readied as Macarthur's second change of the game. John Aloisi yet to make one. Bratton was brave there, and he was the meat in the sandwich between Thurgate and Ivasuki, and Thurgate's going to get a yellow card. The sort of belated birthday card he wanted.
I'm not sure whether Thurgate or Ivasuki is the main offender there. It's Thurgate that goes into the book of Casey Rybel.
So Walter Scott to replace Marin Jakolis, 25-year-old, on for his 27th appearance in the competition. Did I say Jakolis came off there?
I think you did, but
I
that's
meant
okay.
Economides.
Of course.
Here's Wallity. Free kick somewhat wasted by the Bulls, but they quickly win it back. Holman. Right to the challenge of Danzaki. Western United still ahead in every numerical tally you wish to look at, including crucially the scoreboards. 2 goals to 1. Scott. Adamson. Bratton. Vujitsa. Time to measure the cross. Got a flick off the head of Shaman. Retrieved here by Scott. Adamson. Looking to attack and get past Wallity, which he does. Out by Leonard. Holman to recycle it. De Silva. De Silva's cross, and it's too far in front of Keely Adamson. But the ball's really making a case.
Yeah, that was smart play around the box, and they were just patient enough to lay it. Germain, of course, central again. Look at this from De Silva. That's a teasing cross into a really good area. Keely Adamson maybe just slightly caught on his heels. I might be being a little bit harsh.
Well stood up by Keely Adamson. Yemen. Vujitsa. Jakolis. Chip towards Jaman. So got a bit of a nudge in the back. Western looking to break. Holman not of a mind to let them. And the Bulls go forward again through Vujitsa. Jakolis. Too many bodies in the way. Jakolis has gone down. Off the ball incident perhaps. We'll come back to that. Because Western are away, and here's Hiroshi Ivasuki around the defender, but just couldn't retrieve the ball. Little deflection, put it behind the big Japanese striker. And now Macarthur can get some attention to Marin Jakolis. It's that trailing arm of Rhys Bozanovski that's done the damage.
Yeah, it was a swinging arm. He should have had a lot of force behind it. Enough to have Jakolis rolling around, holding his face.
Just checking that he's still got all the teeth intact. He's not the first player to have had a rather frank conversation with Casey Rybelt this afternoon.
He's certainly earning a money. Ready to officiate in this one. That was a real half chance for Isuzu, wasn't it? The ball just wouldn't sit for him, and then ultimately he was outnumbered. Here's a replay of that. He grabs Bozanovski to start with, and Bozanovski's reacting to that.
Yeah, it's trying to throw him off, isn't he? But obviously has made some connection with the face of Jakolis. They're pretty angry, the Bulls. Looks like there's going to be no further sanction, but now Casey Rybelt does come across to have a conversation with Rhys Bozanovski. Is it just going to be that? Yeah, that is sufficient. Change for Western United, and Abel Wallety, whose goal at the moment shapes as the match winner, is replaced, and Matt Grimaldi is on. Here is Abel Wallety's big moment. It came in first half stoppage time. Very tidy finish, Mossy.
It really was, and the way he made his half a yard selling Luke Bratton. He's an experienced defender in those situations, and then the strike was just unerring. Really good contribution for Wallety this afternoon.
Grimaldi's got a couple of goals this season. Play's going to restart with drop ball, free drop for Macarthur. Boyitsa, cut out by Imai. A bit of a shank off the boot of Jakolis. Up in the air by Holman. Scott always the favourite to win the aerial battle, and then the 50-50 won by Walter Scott. Jaman held up by Dylan Leonard. Jaman with the quick throw. De Silva. Jaman dinked through for Adamson. Well defended by Garucha at the expense of a corner.
That was a good outcome in the end for Garuccio. Just thought Keely Adamson had the better of him at one point there. And Garuccio makes up for it and has to concede the corner.
Corner which Walter Scott will deliver. Again, there's plenty of height to try and get on the end of this one. Always assuming, of course, that the corner has that elevation, which it didn't.
It's just disappointing. You work so hard to get a set piece like that and don't beat the first defender.
Scott gets the better of Grimaldi. De Silva. Link up with Adamson, but it was all very tight in there. And Weston can break. It's Matt Grimaldi. Not too many of them, those Western United fans on the far side of the ground, but they're doing their best to cheer their team on towards what will be a crucial 3 points again on the road. They want to work hard to protect their lead. forward from Bratton. Very safely for Matt Sutton. If Western do get the points today, Motti, their next two fixtures, both at home, by the way, Auckland next week, and then Adelaide the week after, the top two. Chance for them to really push on. Fantastic opportunity. I think this week and a half looks like it's served them well between games, the Mariners game and today. They certainly look energetic and fresh. There's Grimaldi and Botic, and off the post from Ibusuki. Still there for Danzaki, and he's hit the side netting. Golden opportunity for Western perhaps to seal the points. Absolutely gilt-edged opportunity as we see them break down the left-hand side. That's a wonderful ball across goal by Noah Botic, and Ibusuki has to finish that. I know he's at full stretch. Look at that, right across the face of goal. He's in great position there to usher it into the back of the Macarthur net. Well, that could have been curtains for the Bulls. Intelligent play from Bozanovski. Tate Russell has Danzaki in front of him, but he's put it too far in front of him. Popped up by Yerman. Bit of a shank off the left peg of Philip Curto. Clever touch by Holman. And the Bulls can open up the field here. Bratton with a risky ball though. Sliding in was Garuccio. And Garuccio's free here and through. It's 3-on-1 for Western United. Danzaki and Philip Curto keeps the Bulls in the contest. Another big save by the Macarthur custodian. Made himself so big there. And again, the Bulls have coughed the ball up. Another chance. Here's Ibusuki, and Curto once again to the rescue. He's playing them on his own at the moment, the Bulls goalkeeper. Magnificent goalkeeping. Really, Ibusuki's got to do better there again. Just didn't have real conviction behind the finish. Three big chances for Western to finish off the game, and now they're back defending. Jakolis. Little back heel for Vujica to hang it up towards the back post, away by Leonard. And Germain's gone down injured. Garuccio to send it long towards Ibusuki. What a whack to the right shoulder for Valère Germain by the looks of it. I wasn't sure if it was a whack that took him down or it was the way he landed on his shoulder when he went to ground. Looked awkward either way. Well, in the space of 3 minutes, Western United hit the post through Ibusuki and then were repelled not once but twice by brilliant saves from Philip Curto. Good goalkeepers are worth their weight in gold and points. They certainly are. He's one of the best in the league, there's no doubt about that. Against the club, of course, where he started his A-League career, Western United, who will move into third if it stays this way, on 28 points ahead of those two home games against the two teams directly above them over the next fortnight. And here's those couple of chances. Garuccio playing a beautiful ball off the Danzaki. Curto just stayed big. And here's the other one for Ibusuki. He just didn't look like he had any real belief in the final touch. Gave Curto the chance to pull off another important save. Just before that, of course, Ibusuki also clipped the post from Botic's pass. Talking of Botic, good climb to win it. Ahead of Matt Yerman, and again the Bulls' defence is stretched. Here's Matt Grimaldi looking to create the angle so he could get the shot away, but good scrambling by the Macarthur defenders. And And now Matt Yerman will need some attention. Goodness me, the physios have been busy this afternoon, Mossy.
They have. They've done some doggies. There's no doubt about that. On and off the pitch. It's not like Matt Yerman to stay down either. Jakolis renewing his conversation with Casey Rybel.
Speaking about Western United's next two big matches, two big games coming up on the horizon for Macarthur as well. Two local derbies really, against the Wanderers at Combank next week, and then the week after they entertain Sydney FC here in Campbelltown. Western United preparing a double change here. We're going to see the introduction of Luke Vickery and Michael Roos as we watch that collision between Botic and Yerman that has left the Bulls defender needing some attention.
You can just see Botic leading with the left elbow. I don't think there was any ill intent in it. It's a natural way to jump for the ball.
Well, two of those big chances for Western went the way of Iwasuki and Danzaki. And as they make their way off the field to be replaced by Luke Vickery and Michael Roos, no doubt they will be ruining those missed opportunities, because this one should be in the bank for Western.
Yeah, it really should be. There's no doubt about that. It's Philip Curto that really has been the difference between that being the case and not, and Macarthur still being in the game.
Michael Roos on the field against one of his former clubs. Started his A-League journey in 2020 with the Bulls, 28 games and 3 goals. He will now be the focal point of the Western United attack, but it's defending at the moment that they need to do, and a trip by Jaman on Imai. Well, that's not been spotted, and play's allowed to continue. Here's Botic. And again, Macarthur looking a little light defensively. Tate Russell scampering away down the right. Vickery beyond him, he's used as the decoy. Rather tame ball into the box in the end by Russell, and then the referee. Well, he's been involved in everything this afternoon, Casey Rybel.
Certainly has. This occasion just blocks the pass from De Silva. This is the thing, Macarthur are going to have to start making that decision to go for it, to get themselves back in the game. That'll open opportunities for Western in transition.
Well, I think we're sort of seeing that to an extent already. They're committing numbers forward, which of course they have to do. It does leave spaces in behind, of course. Burgate stepping across. Ivan Vujica. Throwing back for Holman. Drilled across, too high for Jaman. And too far in front of Marin Jakolis.
I thought he was going to catch that at one point there.
I think he thought about it.
Beautifully flighted pass, not far off the intended target either from Holman.
Well, that's a really risky ball by Tate Russell. Here's Marin Jakolis, and he scores! And Tate Russell on the far side of the field has his head in his hands, because Marin Jakolis has made him and Western United pay cash. Well, he's back on the score sheet after a 12-match hiatus, and the Bulls are all square.
And the other one with his head in his hands is his coach, John Aloisi, on the Harvey Norman replay. Just a brain fade from Tate Russell to play that sort of pass at this stage of the game. Jakolis with some really good skill there, and then just rifles one into the back of the net, courtesy of a little deflection of Dylan Leonard, which really gave Matt Sutton no chance whatsoever. Macarthur back in the game.
Football can be a cruel game sometimes. And it was certainly cruel on Tate Russell, but really it's an inexplicable decision to try and play that sort of a ball across your own penalty area when you're 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's right. It can be a cruel game, of course, but when you give it a chance to bite you in the backside, it generally does. Tate Russell won't want to see that one back in the video analysis session.
Marin Jakolis with his 5th of the season. He had that real flurry of goals early on in the campaign, but as mentioned, he'd gone 12 games without one, and he's contributed 7 assists, including one here for the opening goal for the Bulls here today. So still been very influential for Macarthur. And Western now cursing those missed opportunities once again.
Yeah, definitely. And Philip Curto looking more and more like the hero for his side, but Jakolis has been pretty close to the centre of everything this afternoon. He got the assist, as you said, Simon. He still had plenty to do for that goal, and he did it very well. He was aided just a touch by a deflection off Dylan Leonard.
Western looking to go again. Look at that skill from Jake Holm. That's brilliant. Super little bit of football that from Jake Holman. Adamson. It's pretty good footwork from the fullback as well. And he's got the whistle too.
The party tricks are out, aren't they? Jake Holman, wonderful technique in the middle of the park, and then Keely Adamson says, whatever you can do, I can do just as well. In a wide area, turn his side a free kick. Look at that from Holman. He's just such a beautiful technician.
Got great balance, hasn't he? And is 2-footed as well. Seems an obvious statement to make, but so many players are not, even at professional level. Here's Bratton's free kick, helped on by Jakolis and out by Garuccio for Western United. De Silva charged down by Botic. Back with Vujetsa. And Jaban all alone. Uscott kind of stab at it. Blocked by Leonard, all hands on deck for Western. And Bratton's cross too deep. Again, a rather casual ball, this time by Garuccio, and Western have given the ball away. Here's De Silva. And the ball's making a real push. Here's Keely Adamson. Way by Leonard at the near post. Bratton's shot is charged down. And now Western on the counter. Botic held up by Jake Holman. Shaping as a great finish to this game now.
Oh, strap yourselves in. This, I think, is going to be a wonderful final 8 minutes plus injury time, of which there should be a few. Jake Holman just showing that he knows how to defend as well. That was really intelligent defending to break up that transition by Western.
Michael Roos for Western United. And he is quick, Roos, and he's made good progress. The cutback only found Holman. It's real end-to-end stuff now. Jakolis has been robbed of the ball on the blind side and fouled in the process. And there's going to be a card here issued. Michael Roos, fresh off the bench and straight into the notebook.
Well, I'm not sure that Michael Roos has actually fouled him there.
Well, he's come from behind, hasn't he? I don't think you can tackle from behind these days.
No, but he's going for the ball. Anyway, call me old-fashioned, some will, but Jakolis, I don't think he was aware of Roos coming from behind. Anyway, pushed out the yellow card.
Another change for Macarthur. Jake Holman, who's been very, very good again today. Scorer of the Bulls' first equalising goal. Side-footing it past the despairing diver back Sutton for his 4th of the season. And he's replaced by one of the new boys, Peter Makrilos, 29 years of age, making his senior professional debut in Australia. Although he is Australian born, former Stoke City junior, and he's had a Rather eclectic career, taken in stints in countries such as Greece and Finland, Bulgaria, Denmark, Sweden, and latterly in South Korea with Suwon Blue Wings. Did have brief spells in the NPL competition in New South Wales here with Sydney Olympic and Rockdale City Suns a few years ago. But this is his professional debut in Australia at the age of 29.
The message in that is, it's never too late.
It's never too late. Here's a Paramount Plus player index, and the now departed Jake Holden leads the way. By quite some margin as well by Ben Garuccio, Dylan Leonard, again very steady defensively in the top three. And we've got 5 minutes of the 90 to run. Pick a winner for us, Mossy.
Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? Right now, it could go either way. Might be a moment of brilliance or a mistake.
Talking of brilliance, Jordan Lawton's getting ready to come on for Western. Here's Vujitsa, and Germain hung in the air beautifully. Couldn't get the direction though.
No.
Leap on him.
Amazing. And he used the defender's body really well just to get some extra air time.
So that double change for Western United, Rami Nazarene to replace Noah Botic, and Jordan Lawton on in place of Reece Bozanovsky. Noah Botic got the opening goal of the game after 22 minutes. His 8th of the season. Really good header from Ben Garuccio's cross. Now fresh legs called for as Western look to go again in this topsy-turvy contest in Campbelltown. Macrolos. Scott. And for Vujitsa. Woodcock. Brett. Floodlights on as late afternoon starts to give way into early evening in Campbelltown. The storms have stayed away, thankfully. It's too far for Luke Vickery. His team have been pegged back twice. Can they go a third time? Intelligent ball by Thurgate to find some space for Nazarene. Well controlled by Roos. It's away from Woodcock. Still Michael Roos. It's a corner. But a strong run from the substitute and needed that block from Vujitsa.
Certainly did. Michael Roos has looked really lively and positive and powerful since being injected to the game by John Aloisi. Oh, he'd love to put one over his old side.
Well, Western United, a bit like Sydney FC, have made a habit of late winners, late goals this season. Are they going to do so again? Ben Garuccio's corner in towards the near post. Out again by Valère Germain. Thurgate. Garuccio. Cross took a deflection, Nazarene. Well, he got the header down, but not the power nor the direction for Western. Germain getting the better of Russell and Lawton. Jakolis. Really does lead by example, doesn't he, Valère Germain?
Yeah, he's a wonderful captain. Fantastic player, of course, but the way he leads by example as well.
De Silva. But the Bulls have the final say. Goal kick. Given the way this game has gone, Mossy, it does finish all square. I'd probably say both teams, both coaches, the way they've set their teams up, they deserve a point. Might not end up that way, of course.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I think Western will be more disappointed they don't come away with the 3 given the chances that they've had.
Particularly those 3 in a row.
That's right. But again, Curto's done his job today. Goalkeepers are paid for. But you do sense there should be late drama given the way this game's gone.
Najarine just delayed the release too long, but it'll break here for Jordan Lawton. No look ball for Garuccio, fires it across low, and good hands again from Curto. That could have easily popped out again.
They had to be strong hands, didn't they? There were so many bodies in and around Curto. Anything loose could and probably would have ended up in the back of his net.
Into injury time we go. And Tim Danaskos signals that there will be 7 minutes to be added. So still plenty of time for a winner.
And no complaints here. For 7 minutes more of this game, it's been enthralling.
Bratton cut out by Lawton. Najarine. Western United throw.
Always a tricky one this stage of the game. It's all tied up. How do you go for the result? Of course, probably running needs to come from the home side, despite the chances they've had, Western, to come to Macarthur and take a point home. Certainly nothing to be ashamed of.
Goyeta. Shadowed by Luke Vickery. Down the line by Scott. Goyeta again. Was blocked by Imai. Out for a throw. Those balls have been led back to their pen.
Fantastic. Certainly added to the atmosphere here this afternoon.
Now a reminder that it's a big Asian Champions League 2 round of 16 first leg tie coming up on Wednesday evening. Sydney FC entertaining Bangkok United. You'll see that live. Here's Jakolis, chance for the Bulls. They've done it. It's Danny De Silva. Oh, but the flag's gone up on the near side, and it'll have to go to VAR, but for now it's ruled out. Danny De Silva's finish. Let's have another look at it. Jakolis, and at the point of release, Danny De Silva certainly looks to be at least a metre offside.
Yeah, you certainly are, Danny, unfortunately. Just by a yard, you too, Marin. It's good officiating.
The Bulls pushing for a winner. Big chance again. De Silva round the goalkeeper, and he's hit the post. Oh my word.
We said there was going to be late drama. Danny De Silva does everything right there. The hardest part was done. The easy part's what tricked him up, although it was a tight angle, it must be said. But I think the finish for the offside goal was harder than that one.
2 big moments for the Bulls. One when they thought they'd won it, and one when they probably should have. Could Western steal it at the other end? What a finish to this game. Garuccio sliding in, chance, surely no, Vickery denied. Wow. Thomas Larmuscock this time the hero for the Bulls. Got his body in the way.
Well, that is magnificent. action from both teams. But look at this from Tommy Uscock. He just throws himself at that, anticipates where the strike's going to come, throws his left foot out and saves his side.
We have had some drama this weekend in the Isuzu UTE A-League men's, and it's not quite over yet. Angus Thurgate with the corner for Western United. And a good punch away by Curto. Picked up in the deep though by Grimaldi. Gets the return from Vickery. And he's managed to bundle his way through, Luke Vickery.
Well, we had numbers around the back post and Vickery needed to lift that rather than try and drive it low. Easy said from up here, of course. Gee whiz, some gilt-edged chances down both ends.
Well, I can't say we haven't been entertained, and there could be more to come. Here's Jakolis onside here. Bundles his opponent off the ball. Good save, Matt Sutton. And now the flag does go up. And I had a feeling that Jakolis was onside. He's making a gesture to the linesman.
He needs to be careful.
As if he doesn't know what he's doing, but he did look to be offside. Yeah.
He can remonstrate all he likes, but the officials have got both those decisions spot on without the need for VAR.
Heading towards the final minute of stoppage time. Is there one more chance for either of these two teams? Nakrilos sprays it out beautifully towards Jakolis. Jaman waits in the middle. In comes the cross, pushed away by Sutton. Here's Vujitsa to volley it back in, and Lawton makes the block. Sutton was at full tilt. He couldn't really get the distance he wanted on that clearing punch. Bulls go again. Vujitsa, always a willing runner down that left-hand side. Finds the angle for the cross. Jaman arriving. Here's Marin Jakolis, wanted a touch, goes near post. Great save, Sutton. Wow.
Oh, keep it coming. This is brilliant football. Good strike, Jakolis. Great save. Matt Sutton, he had to be so strong with his left paw, with no time to react.
It might all be on this. It's Marin Jakolis with the corner, headed out by Dylan Leonard. Vujitsa to try and clip it back in. He'll get another go. And it's deflected wide. It's going to be another corner for Macarthur. We're into the 8th minute of stoppage time. Roared on by the bullpen. You've got the bird's eye view of this corner. Taken by Marin Jakolis, who cuts across the ball. Yerman can't get there. And Casey Rybelt says, that will do. Wow. What a finish to this game here in Campbelltown. In truth, both teams could and possibly should have stolen the points. Danny De Silva with one ruled out for offside in stoppage time, and then another that hit the post. Marin Jakolis forcing a really good save. Low down to his left of Matt Sutton. And at the other end, Luke Vickery denied by Thomas Lavoscott for Western, who had 3 big chances in 3 minutes. Midway through the half here, Basuki hit the post and then was denied by Philip Curto. Made some massive saves this afternoon for Macarthur. Prior to that, Marin Jakolis had got the only goal of the second half from a horrible mistake by Tate Russell. In the first half, it was Noah Botic who opened the scoring. Jake Holman with the equaliser, and Abel Wallity in first half stoppage time. Casey Rybelt had it tough in the middle as referee, but in the end, for the 4th time in 6 meetings here in Campbelltown, this fixture ends all square, just as it did in Tarneet earlier this season. Western edge up to 3rd place on the ladder. The Bulls stay in 6th, and Western still can't win in Campbelltown. Full time here, Macarthur 2, Western United 2. Whew, time for a breather. Let's get some reaction with Tris.
Thank you, Simon. Yeah, time for a breather for you, not for Marin Jakolis here. Marin, a hell of an end to a game there. Do you feel as though maybe the way you started the game was more indicative of how you ended the game?
Yeah, I mean, we started on the back foot. Western